Hey, pretty excited to have you here again today. Trust you good and how's your programming journey going? All right, in the previous class, we talked about class instance and object in Python. I hope you've gone through that video. If not, I'll leave the link of that video in the description of this one because today we are looking at a different concept, which is methods in Python. Meanwhile, if you're just coming across the channel, kindly like, comment, and subscribe to it to keep us going. Basically, what we are going to do, we are going to illustrate the concept of method, and we jump right back into our Jupyter notebook to work out the code. What is a method, by the way? A method is a function. Basically, that is what it is, a function associated with a class. We have talked about classes, which the previous video, you can go to that video if you are not clear on that. So just a function associated with a class or an instance of a class. An instance of a class, like you know, is an object. So they help define the behavior and action that objects can perform. So it's more like they help determine how objects behave. You know, we said objects are basically they are instances of a class. You have an animal, and you now come down to have a dog, which is an instance of the class animal. That is basically what objects are. And methods are defined within the class. So if you have a class, you have to define your method within that class, and they are used to manipulate and just perform operations on the class. Okay, so just before we jump right into Jupyter Notebook, we have to look at syntax for calling a method on an object. So basically, to do that, you have the object name, the object name, then you have a dot, then the method name, and you have your arguments. This is how you call a method within a class. So let's jump back into Jupyter Notebook as we work things out. So, okay. First, we define a class. All right. Then name of our class is car. You can define your own class and use any name of your choice. Then we use the def keyword, which stands for define. At this point, we want to define a method within our class, like we said earlier. So we call that define start engine. That's the name of the method. Then we have parameter self passed into this method. What does it do basically? Self, the self parameter we pass here, it is the reference to the instance of the class. Okay, and it is the first argument of every method. So it is the first argument of every method in a class, and it's used to access variables method within that class. So that is what self does. Self will pass there. That's what it do. So okay, sorry, I'm supposed to have a colon here. So I just want to go ahead and print out a statement. Okay, and what I want to print out is engine started. You can now drive. Okay, so that's what I just want to print out from here. So engine started, you can now drive. So at the end of after that, I'll go on to, create a variable, then assign that variable to my class name. What's the variable I want to place? I want to have, I'll just call that variable name my car. Then I'll assign that variable to the class name, which is what? Which is car. All right. Then I'll go ahead to, like we discussed, the syntax for calling a method. So I'll call my method by using the variable name, which I just declared. My car, I've assigned it to the class name, which is car. So I'll do my car dot start edging, all right, which is the name of the method. So start edging. So because it's a method, I'll have to use that open parentheses, open and close parentheses. So if I go ahead and do shift enter, so you can see it's going to rightly print out the statement which we have here. Edges started, you can now drive. So basically that is what we have. We have a class, then we define a method which is start edging, then we pass this self, which is more like the first argument, the first parameter within this method. Then we go ahead to assign this class to what? To a variable. Then at the end of the day, we call this method with this variable name dot, or the object name dot the method, the name of our method, which is start edging. So it's going to print out this statement. So basically we can go ahead to create another class. So let me just do that. So I'll create another class and I'll call this calculator. Okay, let's just perform series of operations here. So I'll define a method and I'll call that add. So in my method, I'll pass some parameters, num1, then num2. Then after that, my column, I'll go ahead to use the return keyword, return num1 plus num2. All right. So at the end of the day, I'll come down here to assign. I'll come down here to create a variable, then assign that to, let's say, result equals, I'll use my class name, which is what? Calculator. Then I'll do dot add. So more like a class name dot my name of my method. I'll assign all of that to result, as you can see. I have this variable called result. Then you understand what we talked about calling a method. Okay, the syntax, you have the object name or the class name, which is calculator, dot the name of our method, which is add. So that is how we call that method. So at the end of the day, I'll come here and I'll pass some arguments here. So let's say we want to add 7 and 3. All right, so I'll close that. Then after that, I'll go ahead to call to print out what my result will be. So I'll do print result. All right, I believe this has been rightly done. I believe this has been rightly done. So after that, I'll go ahead to print out. I'll run this shift enter. So as you can see, it's going to print 10. All right, so basically, I believe you understand what we have just done. We have a class, then we define a method called add. We pass 2 arguments to our method. Then we use the return keyword. By the way, the return statement is used to specify the result of a value. So it's used to specify so it's going to specify the result of this value, num1 plus num2. It's not going to print that out yet. Until here, we come down here, we define, or we create a variable called result. Then we assign that to what we have here, calculator.add. What this does is the syntax for calling our method. Our object name or class name is calculator. Then the name of our method is add. Then because we have 2 arguments here, we pass 2 arguments. Because we have 2 parameters here, we pass 2 arguments to our method. Then we are going to print out the result. So that will rightly print out 10. So basically, this is just a simple one. We could have complicated instances of method. All right. So hopefully we are going to have a different video on that. Thank you for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one.